Ileana, what is the source of Nick Fuentes' influence? He's 25. Why is he on Tucker Carlson show, or why are people talking so much about him? Where does his power or influence or relevance come from?
Can I answer a question you didn't ask?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I think it's worth, and just stop me if this is not worthwhile, but I think it's worth taking a step back from like the immediate controversy, because as you mentioned, Mark, like the biggest sub rosa issue on the right for like the past year or 2 years, people have been saying like, what's going on with Tucker Carlson? And I think that betrays like this larger divide. And that's happened since Tucker was fired from Fox News and has had on controversial guests who have said things about the origins of COVID and the way COVID was engineered, about Christian Zionists, about American Jews, about Israelis, the IDF penetrating the Pentagon,
Alex Jones has been a scare.
having Alex Jones on, etc. And it's caught people's attention. Now, when Tucker was at Fox, like he's very close to people in the administration. He was with like the president at the RNC. He was the source. He's very close to JD Vance. And so I think this became a source of concern for a lot of people who are supportive of the administration is like, how influential is this person in the administration? And like, do these friendships remain? So in comes the Heritage Foundation with this long statement that like, we will never abandon Tucker Carlson. And, other people have made similar statements, but I was sort of puzzled by like, where did this come from? Their president put out a video statement. And it seemed to me like an answer to a question that like nobody really asked. Like, who went to Kevin Roberts and said, like, are you going to abandon Tucker Carlson? Like, put out a video statement. And he decided to go out there and plant his flag in a really dramatic way and in a sort of ridiculous and comical way with Tucker Carlson, who had just done an interview with Nick Fuentes. And like we saw Tucker Carlson do a very hostile interview with Ted Cruz. His interview with Nick Fuentes, who describes himself as a fan of Hitler and Stalin, was not hostile. It was friendly and warm. So my view is like this is now this sub rosa question has now reached the point of like major institutions on the right. And I think it's going to create incredible stress on that organization, which you saw in Kevin Roberts's follow-up statement, where he's saying like, oh, I mean, in your summary, he actually said like, we shouldn't try to cancel Nick Fuentes. We should debate with him
Yeah.
and we should challenge ideas. And we, but then at the same time, he said like, we need to focus our energy on the left, not on people on the right. And included on the right were, Tucker Carlson, who he called a forever friend, will never abandon him, and Fuentes as well. Um, and I think the thing that jumped out at me was he's saying we should debate with Nick Fuentes and with Tucker Carlson, but like those guys spend most of their days attacking people on the right.
Yeah.
Fuentes, as you played today, is threatening JD Vance and mocking him for having to pander to, his Groyper base. He's deriding him for having a brown wife, deriding him for having mixed race children, and threatening him and saying, if you denounce me, I'm going to go to Iowa and campaign against you and bring all my white nationalist clan against you. And Tucker Carlson is calling Christian Zionists like Ted Cruz and Mike Huckabee the worst people in America and saying they're afflicted with a brain virus. And so, like, sure, I guess you could invite these people to the Heritage Foundation for a reasoned debate, but people who say like Jews who don't agree with me should get the F out of America, as Nick Fuentes did, don't strike me as people who are open to like they don't seem to want debate. They seem to want to hurl personal insults at people.